Greetings, viewers. This is A Vision Entertainment. Once again, you're watching A Vision Entertainment Spotlight Session. We are here with Suzann Christine. She is a dynamic force in the Philadelphia music scene, seamlessly blending R&B, pop, and soul into a sound that is both authentic and universally appealing. More than just a powerhouse vocalist, she is a dedicated community leader who founded the nonprofit SCH Creative and Performing Arts to nurture young talent. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the talented Suzann Christine.
Hey y'all.
Yeah,
Thanks for
how are
having me,
you?
Ty.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How are you? How's everything? How was the work life? Music life.
It's good. It's busy.
That's right.
A lot
That's right.
going on.
Well, that's going to always
Yes,
happen once you're a talented, wonderful singer. So you're going to always stay busy regardless, you know. I just
this is
I want to
true. Thank
yeah,
God.
it is true. It is true. Can you take me back to the studio album Cup of Love? That was 2017, right? Can you take me
Yes.
back to the producers and how did you manage to get through that? What was the difficulties in that studio session? I just want to know, like, take me back to that studio session, making that album.
So it's interesting. When I first started Cup of Love, I wasn't actually recording for it to be like an EP or for it to be Cup of Love, right? I was just kind of like, making music, collaborating with Digital Crates, DJ Circuit Breaker. I was meeting them down at the studio that the Roots used to record in on Cowell Hill back in the day. And
Fourth and Collar Hill, right? Is it Fourth Street?
seven, not 444 building. That was another building I
Okay,
used to be in
okay,
all the time. But no, this is on 7th and Cowell Hill.
okay.
And yeah, we just was collaborating, was vibing out, and I started all these dope songs
Yeah.
um and then some time went on. Like I remember I met one of my closest friends now, Tommy, the creator. I met him going down to those sessions, and then we ended up I don't know, it was just like time went by, and
Yeah.
then I was recording all the way in Orland, PA, which is right outside of Philly,
Hmm.
um at a studio over there. And I was working with this producer named Dejor, and we was putting out music. But this studio used to have like a calendar. So
Okay.
like anytime anybody was working, like you would see who was coming in the calendar if you
Yeah.
would put like their names down. So they saw my name on the calendar,
Hmm.
and they were just moving into the studio. So they had moved from down being on 7th Cowell Hill
Okay.
to this
Okay.
new studio. And so actually it wasn't new, but it's been around for a minute in the Orland, PA. But went over to they like, yo, Sue, you in the session over here. So long story shorter, they ended up calling me over, and they started playing some of the stuff we started. Like, yo, we need to finish this. We need
Oh,
to
okay.
finish it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's finish it. And we was working with Tiani, and there was Tiani Victoria back then, and we were working with his name is Wild Tuna now.
Wow.
And it was like, honestly, it wasn't a lot of hiccups in the creation process of
Okay.
the music at all.
Wow. Wow.
We ended up putting together a nice, listening party at the
Hmm.
studio, and we had a nice group of people come out, support it, and honestly, it was a good experience. It was they ended up doing distribution through Dice Raw,
Okay. That's
and
cool.
the I think there was probably some trouble in like them wanting me to sign agreements or sign with them
Oh, okay.
um,
That
for
contract.
the project.
That's
I
right.
think that's where some difficulty came into play, because the paperwork that was being presented, I remember having like 5 different people looking over it. from
Wow. Wow.
lawyers to managers to like all, and nobody liked the paperwork at
What,
all.
if you don't mind me asking, because I hear about these contracts all the time. What exactly was what exactly did they see or did you see that made you renege?
Honestly, I can't remember that far back at this time.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. But you know you didn't sign. You didn't sign that
I
contract.
know, yeah, I just know it was like, this not gonna work.
Okay,
And,
okay.
there wasn't any upfront money. There was no dollar amounts said dollar amounts that would be spent, you know. And then there wasn't even any promotion done. Like it was a lot of funny style stuff, like not letting me get
Wow.
show tracks for all the songs so I could promote them properly when I went out to perform them live.
Wow.
It was little things like that that was happening that became a little sour,
Okay.
in terms
Okay.
of taste. And you know what the other thing was? I was really like a high commodity in that
Commodity.
studio
Yeah.
because remember when they met me, it was because I was working with somebody else. They
That's
wanted to
right.
sign with me.
Yeah. But
And I ended up with like three people trying to want to sign at one time.
wow.
And they
Okay.
all were working in Forge, which is like that causes a little friction.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It causes friction. And,
Yeah.
you know, I've always been one of those like artists that was kind of like not trying to be limited to who I work with,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And be free. And so, I'm working with this producer. I was working with y'all. We stopped working for a long time. Now we back, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
um, and then there was another company. They had opportunities. They were trying to like send artists overseas to do
Hmm.
things, and and I was all ears, and I know they didn't like that. They didn't like that I was all ears.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So they
Yeah,
didn't
because you
like that I was trying to look out for myself
that's right. That's right. That's right.
as an artist to see, who was, you know, proposing the best
That's
situation
right.
for me.
That's right.
It was sour, but we did put out the music. The music is there. People can hear it. I think the music could have traveled further if we didn't have that sour
That's
taste,
right.
and
That's right.
um, you know, things could have just ended a little bit better. It got just funny, but it was great music, and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed creating and working with them during that process. Yeah.
What did you actually own the album? Like the credits, the songs and everything? Did you own it? I know not the production part, but the
Yeah,
songwriting.
definitely not the production part, but there was collaboration reports for like all the lyrics and
Okay, okay.
things of that sort. But when it comes to like recording, you own your masters, and I know back then I didn't know this stuff. This is stuff that I learned over
Yeah,
time.
every time.
But you own your masters because you pay for them.
Wow.
So if you're paying for the studio time and
Yeah,
you get all your stems and you do all the stuff, then it becomes yours, and you pay for the production, you do all that stuff. And
wow.
I feel like some of the issues that happened in Philadelphia, and I don't know if this happens all the way around, but I feel like during my travels, it's just not a lot of the business side being talked about up front.
Yeah, that's right.
you know
Right.
um and what happens is it's like, hey, let's collaborate, let's create, and a producer wants to work with an artist because the artist is hot, or the artist can write, or the artist can sing, or the artist can rap,
Right.
and
Right.
then they want to take precedence over the music a lot of times because, oh, well, I asked you to come to my studio and record to my music,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, but you asked me for a reason,
That's right.
and so I
Right.
think that there really needs to be some walls taken down when it comes to like the producers and the artists being married in their music. No, not one creator has leverage over the other,
Hmm.
you know, or
Yeah.
I feel like if it's mutual in terms of y'all wanting to collaborate, unless you're hiring somebody,
That's right.
then I think, it should be fair across the board. Like, we're going to promote this together. We're going to invest into this
That's right.
project together.
Team.
Put this song
Team.
out
Yeah.
together.
Team effects.
It should
You
just
know,
be simple. But, sometimes the industry just people just make it difficult, and people be making up their own rules because I mean, everybody's operating as their own business.
Yeah, I believe before you get into this business, you have to learn the business. I think I wouldn't do anything until I get that mastered first, because people
Yeah, and
get
I mean, sometimes it's trial and error, some
that
things
too.
you're gonna
You
learn.
learn. Yeah, you learn as you go along. Yeah,
Yeah. I know for me, and I say this all the time, it's part of the reason why like I've started a lot of the organizations and
yeah,
platforms that I've started because, when I made the decision to do music, it wasn't like I went to school to do it. I didn't go to
right.
business school, music business school,
Right.
nothing. It was like I have talent, I can sing, I really want to do this full time.
That's right.
uh, I'm just going to start doing it. And there was a lot of mistakes made. There was a lot of failures. There was a lot of, just things to learn
Yeah,
during that process for
yeah,
years. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's ever evolving. Things are constantly changing,
yeah. It
So
is
yeah.
over time.
But I agree with you. I mean, if you can help it,
That,
get some knowledge first.
that's
I
right.
mean, I would recommend it, highly recommend it wherever you can get knowledge about the business. And next things that I'm working on changing in Philadelphia is just not just education on like how to do your craft, but
Yes,
education on like the business side of the craft and how you
that's
can
right.
show up more as a professional person.
That's
It
right.
helps us as
Right.
a city. We look good when we go out to Atlanta and we go to Miami and
That's right.
LA and New York and we want to handle business. We look like we know what we're doing. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's right. Yeah, yeah. You want to look like a professional. Like you got this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did Wonder Tape come about with you and Freeway? How did that happen with that connection?
Oh, that happened. Wow. And that was a real throwback. This is very beginning
Yeah.
stages of Suzann
Yeah,
Christine.
but the song is hot. It's a hot song.
It
Yeah,
is high. I
yeah.
100% agree. That came about. I was working at the 444 studio,
Oh, yeah,
legendary
yeah, that's right.
studio. We was down there all the time.
That's right. That's right.
I remember singing Meek and his beginning stages, always down there and everything.
Well,
Um,
I'm sorry, was Jazzy Jeff down there or no?
no, that was before my time.
Okay, okay, before yours. All right, all right.
Yeah.
'Cause
Um, I know. I wish I missed a lot of like great epic
through
time
that. Yeah,
in the
yeah.
city,
But,
like epic. But I mean, I was just young,
yeah,
so
you was young, but you on it now. So you was
yeah, I wanted
young.
that.
Yeah, wow. So you good. You on it
Um,
now. So Freeway,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So Freeway, I got on his joint. Was working with a producer that he was working with. His name was
yeah.
Mike Jers. Mike
Okay.
Jers actually ended up moving to LA. But back then we were all working together and Free was doing his independent album because Diamond in the Rough is
Yeah,
his independent album. He didn't put that out through the major labels,
yeah, it was
And
independent. Yeah,
yep. And so I was like, you know, I want to be. I would love to be on it because Mike Jers hit me up and was like, "Listen, I want to put you on this project." I was really like a hook queen,
yeah, yeah. But how
So
did they find you though? How did they actually think of you to put you on the album?
they thought of me because I was always around. Like I was in the
Okay,
studio with
okay.
them all the time, with
All right.
especially Mike Jers. Like Mike Jers,
Wow.
I did a lot of work with him and some of the other people he was working with. Like so, when Freeway needed an artist
Yeah,
needed a singer, I was the first one to come up in
yeah.
mind. And
Cause you,
at
yeah.
the time, I was like up and coming and making my rounds, and people were talking about me at the time. So
Okay. Yeah,
it
yeah,
was just it was like, yeah, let's get Sue on it.
yeah. Your name was ringing. That's what it was. Your name was ringing at the time. Wow. But
That's it.
it still is. That's a dope
And
song.
that studio.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a dope song. Now we got to talk
Thank you.
about the Eagles, John. Is it Sudat? Sudat?
Who that?
Sudat.
Who
Sudat.
that? Who that?
Okay. So how did that come about? The Eagles are fly, Eagles fly. Did you do
Yes.
what?
Let's go. So when I moved to New York back in
Yeah.
2019,
Hmm.
you know, me and my team, we were working together, and you know, we were like, let's do some. I was already doing like anthems with like high schools and colleges here and there, but it's like, let's move into like the NBA. Let's, you know what I mean? And at the time, I had music on the radio, doing all this work, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I started doing Brooklyn Nets, and I was doing their anthem all the
Oh,
time.
okay. Okay.
It was I was being booked so much, like, and could have done more, way more than what I was doing
Okay.
up there, to the point like they wanted to claim me as Brooklyn, like, you Brooklyn, you live here, so you Brooklyn.
You
And I'm like,
Brooklyn. Yeah.
well, I'm Philly though. I, I'm
Well,
I've always been one of those people that's a little funny about the, like, where are you from
yeah, that's right.
and where
That's
you
right.
rep, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I know some people aren't like that. Like, in fact, Philadelphia claims people that aren't from Philly all the time.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
know, it
They
is, I
do.
get it. I get it.
Hmm.
Yeah, so um we you know, I was doing the anthems, and then I moved back to Philly, and it was just like, you know, I was still going up to New York, traveling, doing stuff, but it was like, when am I going to do some Philly sports, you know? And my favorite team is the
Yeah.
Eagles. So
That's
I
right.
remember I had posted something on Facebook one time, and I'm real big on manifestation, but I really was like, you know, I want to I want to do the Eagles game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody hit me and was like, I got somebody to contact, da 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 da. So I contacted them, emailed them, got
Wow.
they pretty much was like, well, we're full this season.
Oh, oh, okay.
Right? That's how they hit me back. They were like, oh, we're full this season. Thanks for sending everything over. We'll try to keep you in mind for next season. I
Okay.
said, okay, cool. And then it was like, I don't know if it was like 3 weeks or a month later,
Yeah.
somebody else randomly hit me
Called you?
up. Not the same person I was talking to in the organization.
Somebody
Someone
else.
else from the Eagles hit me up. Literally went to my website, filled out my booking contact form,
Yeah.
and um yes, and then emailed me and asked me, was I available to do New Year's Eve for the
Wow.
Eagles. And I was
Wow.
like, hell yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Did they ask you your price? I got to say to ask that. Did they ask you what's your
They
price
take
or?
care of you. They take care of you the way they take care of all the anybody that's singing national anthems. Well, maybe, I don't know, really everybody, but you know,
But they do. They do.
they
They do.
took care of you.
All
They
right.
take
Cool.
care of you.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
you grew up in Philly, and you got a lot of musical knowledge here too. We both here right now in Philly. How did your experience with local programs, choirs, and the Philly music scene specifically prepare you for a national career?
Big time. I want to say big time because, you know, so I grew up in the church first. I got, you know, started with singing on the choirs in my church.
Yeah.
Second Macedonian Baptist Church, shout y'all out. We in Logan now. We used to be
Yeah.
in West Oakland now when I first started going, which is where I'm originally from. And then I started doing choir. I was part of this young performance theater camp down at the Annenberg Center and on the University of Penn campus.
Mhm.
And that really truly prepared me for the stage because I was doing musical theater work.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they was training me how to sing, how to dance, how to act, and really tighten me up performance wise.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was a part of the all city choirs. I was part of girls high choirs, going to
Wow.
girls high, and a
Wow.
lot of their choirs. You know, I think I was like part of 3 different choirs through them, from the gospel choir to the treble clef choir
Wow.
to the
Yeah.
vocal music choir. We had 3 at the time. So I was music out. That's really just all I really did. And even outside of school, I was doing like different productions,
Mhm.
plays, all that kind of stuff. And that just, I honestly feel that trained me. All of that training
Yeah, it did.
from
Yeah.
from being a young child all the way up to a teenager, and then going to school. And, you know, I think it was just all of those particular things helped me be able to be like a great talent You
Okay.
know,
Okay.
that's what it helped me be. And, I think if you hone in on your talent and you cultivate it, you promote it,
That's right.
you know,
That's right. That's right. That's right.
then yeah, like then it's, I mean, like
You can't
after that,
lose.
people want to book you. People want to see you. People want to
That's
support.
right.
People want to
That's
come
right.
hear you. You know, yeah, and all of that was from Philly. It was all of that from Philly, and then like just growing up listening to my own Philly artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Jill
Yeah.
Scott and Vivian Green. I
That's
mean, I
right.
love
Right.
listening to them growing up, and
That's
Jasmine
right.
Sullivan.
Jasmine. That's right. That's right.
So um, yeah, just having that soul. I always say this about Philly. I feel like the land that we are on, there's something energetic about the land that we are on that creates a soulful sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
That
it
good.
gives us what we have in our
That's right.
music. Yeah.
That's right. That's a good way to look at that. It's like that energy. Something is. It's like that wave. Everybody got that talent. Wow.
Yeah.
You ever been called to do Powerhouse? Any of the powerhouses like back then? Never.
Never, never.
Wow. Okay. Wow. And you know.
You would have seen it. It would have been on. It would have been on my APK Powerhouse because
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Philadelphia is known to do. We love Powerhouse.
that's right. But have you been invited to go backstage and stuff? Not perform, but just go back there. Yeah.
No, mm-mm,
Oh, okay.
mm-mm. Not
Okay.
in that circuit.
All right. Well, it's coming. It's coming soon for you. You know, it will. What was that moment? What was that pivotal moment or experience that made you realize music was your true calling?
Um, I think you have many of them because you got like peaks and valleys that you go
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Um, I think I will say this. I knew that it was something special or that I felt like God was really showing me like, this is something you can be doing.
Yeah.
When I like quit everything, I quit my job. I said I'm doing music full time.
Hmm.
And I had submitted a song that I wrote called Closed Casket into this contest
Oh, wow.
online. And out
Yeah.
of 1,400 people nationally,
They picked you.
um, I was selected. Yeah, out of 1,400
Wow.
people nationally. Um, but yeah, we uh
So,
I got the opportunity to open up for DJ Khaled and Wale and
oh, okay.
T.I., Melanie Fiona. It was a big festival in Miami for
Yeah.
Radio One.
Okay.
So I've always gotten like, it's funny, like you like, have you ever been backstage for the Powerhouse and
Yeah.
invited
Yeah.
to do that? And it's like, well, I've had more of a relationship with the other station here in Philadelphia than
Okay.
that.
Then that one.
Which focuses more on R&B. I know Power 99 more focused on hip hop.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like that moment that really showed me like this is very possible, because to have my first big show after, deciding I'm gonna do this full time and everything taken care of from hotel, flight, chauffeur,
Yeah.
and being able to hit the stage that all these A-list artists are hitting,
That's right.
to me
That's
was
right.
like, okay, because it wasn't nothing small.
Yeah. 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 It's nothing small. Who are some of the biggest artists that you actually hit the stage with? Can you name some big artists?
So when you say hit the stage, what you mean? Like I was on, like I
You
opened
share the
up for them
stage.
or something?
You share the stage with some of those people. Yeah.
The list is long. Babyface,
Mary J.
um,
Blige.
Mary J, Keisha Cole,
Wow.
uh,
Wow. Wow.
Patti LaBelle. I actually did background for Patti,
Yeah.
um, for
Yeah.
at the Essence Music Festival, 50th anniversary during COVID. But
Yeah. You
I've
was
done a
involved.
lot of shows. I've opened up for a lot of people. I've been a part of, I even did the Roots Picnic. So,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of
Mhm.
major artists on that show too. So
It was. It was. Wow. Well, is there a specific piece of advice or a memorable moment from sharing a bill with a veteran artist that changed your perspective on the industry?
A pivotal moment with a big artist. Well, first of all, I'll never forget what Patty said. Patty, I was invited to her home, and um she told me to look around. She was like, I can't walk you around. I'm too old to do that.
But
But
you
if
said,
you
look
go
around.
walk yourself around.
Patty said, look around. Just look around. Wow. So
So yeah, so we I ended up telling her like, like this is beautiful, that this is what music has done for you,
right,
et cetera, like very inspiring.
right.
And she was like, yeah, and you can have this too.
Hmm.
And she was like, you don't ever forget your dream. That sticks with me. Like, you should never forget your dream. Sometimes your dreams change, but never forget your dream. Like, always go after whatever your goals are. And that forever, forever sticks with me. Um, Mickey
Right.
Howard she's like my auntie. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm one of those very isolated sometimes
Yeah, yeah. Just like to chill
to
and
myself,
be by
huh?
yourself. Be by yourself and
Yeah, this,
yeah, yeah.
it protects me, sometimes like in my peace and everything. I don't, I just like to do what I like to do, be great at it, and then go home. And
That's
then,
all.
I don't
That's
hang
it.
out. I don't hang out with a lot of people. I don't be like this. These are my friends. These my colleagues. I want to see y'all win. And I respect everything that y'all doing. But I'm not friends with a lot of people. But I will say that Mickey is a friend of mine. She's a friend and a
Okay.
mentor to me. And she's always given me
Some
lots of
advice.
wisdom because now she's independent too. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
and I think she didn't necessarily, she always given advice, but it's just how she moved and what she does. It's more about like what she's doing and what she does
Yeah.
for like next generation,
Okay.
is what I'm learning for her because I respect that of her. Like, you know, she invited me out to do shows in locations and cities that I wasn't, I never did shows
Oh,
to,
okay. That was
you know
good.
what
That
I'm
was good.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, it's people like her in the industry that help, you know, they reach back for
Yeah.
generations. And I feel like, if we got that in our heart and space, it's always good to be a guide, for the next
Yeah.
generation.
Well, that's dope. You know
So
what? Yeah, that's Mickey Howard is definitely she's a true legend, like legendary. You know.
yeah, tell me about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, she is. So, how do you feel about the representation of women in the music industry, and what changes would you like to see?
I think that women are choosing what they want, how they want to be represented.
Oh,
And as long as they are choosing how they want to be represented, it's all good with me. You
right.
know, as so many, we're so multidimensional in who we are as beings, so
Yeah.
for me, I like that women are actually being showcased,
Okay.
right? And that they're getting out there and they making their moves. I do not like seeing women beefing. I will say that. I don't
Right.
like that. I'm not feeling that. But I love when I see women collaborating, and I love seeing women, talking their minds and speaking their
Yeah.
truths, and getting off what they need to say
Hmm.
on every angle. And I like seeing women dominating, because we can be dominant, we don't always have to play the back, we can play the front.
That's right.
And I like seeing women in the industry doing more than just music. You know,
Okay.
people like Alicia Keys, I really admire. I love that she's doing Hell's Kitchen musical.
Yeah.
That is very aspiring to me. Coming from the musical world, loving musicals.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I love seeing her do that, and I love how she, took her time to say, I'm not wearing makeup, and
That's right. Yeah, that's
doing
right.
her natural thing. I like that she went through all those motions, and I think that representation was needed in the industry,
That's right.
so it can be a lot of pressure. And, sometimes it's a little unfortunate. You see women doing different things, just to feel more accepted.
Yeah.
However, like I said in the beginning, they're making the choice of how they want to be represented.
That's right. Wow. So that's
The
their
choice is
choice.
yours.
That's their choice. The choice is yours. Wow.
You got to deal with your choices.
Wow. But what about stage performances when you see these women twerking and doing this and doing that, or just the music alone? How do you feel about that? Like the music today and the twerking on stage. How do you feel? What is your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, twerking is I think it's another name for, what we probably our people have been doing for
But,
eons.
yeah, for hundreds of years,
Yeah.
but
Taking that ass. I mean, like that's what we do, women. And like I said, I think that people are choosing these things for it's what they like to do, or maybe they feel like it's necessary. They gotta live with their choices. People are watching, and
kids.
um, not everybody's gonna like what you're doing, but there's gonna be a ton of people who do.
Yeah.
And serve who you like. I know for me, like when it comes to me, um, I'm just conscious about like what I decide I want to like tap into.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And give my energy to. So I don't give my energy towards things that I'm not feeling. So,
Okay.
it kind of doesn't live in
Understandable.
my world.
Yeah.
They don't live in my
Understandable.
universe.
Yeah. That's understandable. It don't live in your universe.
It just don't live in my universe. But like I said, people they create their own universes. Everybody has their own little universe, and they are attracting and inviting into their universes
Yeah.
who wants to be in it. And
Right.
so because the world is a well balanced world, like we got to have it all, and that's just what it is at this point. We got to have
Yeah.
yin yang balance.
Okay. So that's just what it is. It is what it is, basically.
That's
Wow.
where I'm at. That's where I'm at. 10 years from now, I might say something different.
Yeah. But for now, it is what it is. It may switch
It
up.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
People are
Wow.
doing what they want to do.
Well, for you, what core principle do you believe you will never compromise on?
What core principle would I not compromise
Yeah,
on?
yeah. What core principle do you believe you will never compromise on? It could be something they ask you in the studio, anything. What you think that you're not compromising on? That's it.
Yeah, I think it's a list of things, but essentially like I'm not doing what I don't want to do.
Okay. That's,
So if I don't agree with something, I'm not doing it. Like I am strong in my mentality, my mindset, my thought process, and especially when it comes to me, I know how to remove myself from things that I don't want to do
yeah.
at this
Yeah.
point in my life. Like so yeah, yeah, there's some things that I'm not going to promote, because I'm very particular
Right.
of what is being said in the atmosphere, and when I'm delivering what messages I might be delivering, and you know um you know what I'm portraying and how I'm presenting myself.
That's right. That's
So
right.
for me, uh it's about, doing things that I think feel good to me, and can help a generation of women feel like they don't have to do certain things. I want to I just want to be that representation of, like, I mean, like, even down to the hair. It's like, you can wear your natural hair.
That's right.
I'll never forget having natural hair on my vision board, and at the time I was wearing like a perm, and I had wraps, like a cute little wraps. My hair was like straight. And I didn't really fully grasp or understand what I meant by that when that was on my vision board. I didn't know it meant this. Like, I had no idea it meant wearing froze and stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah, no idea. Wow.
Spiritually, somewhere in me, there's a version that knew that this is what I wanted to do.
Wow. So, that's deep. So I can go into this question. What is the single most important lesson you've learned about yourself in the past year?
In the past year?
In the past year. We're going to go in the past year.
I think that what I've learned about myself in the past year is I've always known I was powerful, but I think I've really tapped into a level of power that I didn't know I had before.
Okay.
And so, and I've also learned that I've suffered through a lot of trauma. Like, I went through a lot of trauma that I've had to heal from.
Okay.
And I've learned that I've taken steps along, like, the past few years. I've taken a lot of steps towards my healing. Okay. And this year I've even added additional steps towards that healing, which is manifesting a new version of me that is even more powerful.
Wow. What did you learn from the trauma? How did you overcome that? And what was the lesson you think that was all in that? How did you overcome the trauma?
So it's a multi-layered trauma, but and multiple traumas, but I would say I've overcome them because I wanted to.
Okay.
So it's the choice in making, and a choice and decision to say, I want to overcome this, or actually being able to, identify that there's an issue, right? And if you can't acknowledge that there's an issue within yourself that might be hindering you from, being who you want to be or whatever. So, like, for me, I think it was, just addressing it, like, hey, this something going on, and then asking all the right questions to self, asking questions to yourself. Like, where is this stemming from? How did this happen? Recognizing triggers, all the above, and I overcame it because I wanted to. So that meant reading different books, only providing my mind and mental with things that were going to help me change my mindset and perception, and like understand where lies were coming in at, so I could turn those lies around, because you go through all these experiences and they kind of like mold you into thinking that this is who you are, or you're identifying with certain things, and it's like that's not even really truly you at the core.
That's right.
And then like intentionally going into affirmations or going to therapy and things of that sort. So, I'm real big on affirmations. I even have I built a platform called Music Artist Universe, right? And it's musicartistuniversity.com. And I work with, music artists and creatives and entrepreneurs. And every Monday morning, I lead with like mirror talk affirmations. Okay. And that has done wonders for my healing.
It helped a lot. Wow.
Tremendously.
Which one of your songs, such as Falling Tears, or levels is your favorite to perform live? And what makes that performance special for you?
Uh, so out of those two,
That's right.
Volunteers.
I knew it was going to be a little hard. So Fallen Tears.
Volunteers is definitely a powerful record. It's just powerful. Yeah. It shows off my vocal capability. It's not a song that everybody can really sing like that, you know, and you gotta be really a singer to be able to do that song.
Okay.
So I really enjoy singing it, and then and people love that song. Like, that was my hit, you know. Right. And a lot of people still to this day love that song. Mm-hmm. We may re-release it because we had some stuff happen with the song with Spotify. So we, you know, I want to definitely talk about that on another situation. But Fallen Tears is my baby. I love Fallen Tears. I will never forget Fallen Tears and what it did for my life and for other people's lives. Yeah. And so I really enjoy singing that song.
But do you think that Fallen Tears or Levels could have reached a bigger audience? And what do you think? That's what I'm saying. So what do you think? Was it worth going to Spotify, taking that song to Spotify? Was it worth it?
Was it worth taking? Back then, probably yes, because it helped it spread. It was on mad playlists, you know,
But it's a big song. Yeah. It could have went,
hundreds of thousands of, you know, it hit top 3 in Italy charts. It was playing in supermarkets and casinos, and I mean, the song was just doing what it was doing, and it was doing what it was doing with very little investment.
Yeah, you see?
So, you know, like, and I say this all the time, there was an issue with the song really even taking off the way it could have because the pandemic happened. I never was able to tour the record. Yeah. Like, at the time that it needed to be toured, I couldn't tour the record.
That's right.
And if I could tour the record, I didn't know I could tour the record. I didn't know there was places I could be going
to tour
during that time.
Yeah. And this is why you're going to re-release it and do it all over again, right?
Exactly.
Wow. That's a great song. A great song.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You have pop, R&B. You know, you have mixed genres inside of you. How would you describe
shades of R&B? Shades of R&B.
Shades of R&B?
Shades of R&B, baby.
Because I was going to ask you, how would you describe your unique sound or style?
That's it right there.
That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, cool. When you answered that.
Because you got R&B pop, you got R&B disco, R&B funk, R&B hip hop. You know, you got so many variations of R&B, and I do them all. Like, ain't no limitations to my R&B style. You know.
Yeah.
And I don't want them. I'm not accepting them.
Wow, there you go. Well, when you were in that studio and in the session, how do you tap into those deep emotions when writing or performing a song? How do you tap into that?
It's spiritual for me, you know, like if I hear a record and you know, my soul start hearing lyrics and melody, you know, or a story is being formulated or whatever like that, like that's where it comes from. It's coming from the ethers. So you know, in fact, I hear songs without any production or like anything. Like lately I've been I know I'm in like right now I'm in a more creative space. And I just purchased a couple things so that I can I'm about to start creating on a different level, because really, to be honest, the past couple of years I haven't been in a real serious creative space.
Oh, okay.
Like since I had my son, you know, some people they have their children, they be ready to do all of this writing and all that. Right. That wasn't me. So, but now juices are flowing, like songs are coming with ease, you know. Wow. I'm in a different vibration and different frequency. So And then I have different plans on like how I want to distribute music,
Okay.
to my listeners. So I'm in a very, very creative space right now. And songs, they come out of nowhere. Usually I don't want to say nowhere, but they come from like some of my experiences, things that are happening,
Yeah, yeah.
and or things that might have been said, and it's like, oh, that's a song, and I write it down, and I come up with something, and I'm hearing everything now. Like I'm hearing not just lyrics, I'm hearing the beats, I'm hearing everything.
Wow. You mentioned your son. Well, how do you balance out, handling your son, the music, this everyday life? How do you balance all of this out?
I'm telling you, the affirmations and talking to the inner God within, it helps balance it all, you
Okay.
know? Yeah, couldn't do it without the source energy helping
Okay.
me and
Yeah.
guiding me, and just making a decision to do it with ease, and just affirming that you're doing it with ease, and that um you know that you can still do it, like you can
That's
still
right.
have both worlds,
That's right. That's right.
um Yeah, and maybe not as much of one world over the other, you know, or maybe as much as it used to be, but you
Mhm.
still got it. You know what I
That's
mean?
right. That's right. Still there.
Um, right, exactly. So, um, and then I have help, I'm not single. I'm not by myself, so
Yeah.
uh, uh luckily, I'm grateful to have support.
Yeah. But that's always great. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, for your fans, that would like to know this, what is one thing about you that they might be surprised to know?
Um, That's interesting. Well, I guess one thing that some of my fans, and this isn't necessarily about music, but something that I do that a lot of people don't know. I have my life insurance license. And so I'm
Okay.
really big on like helping the community learn about, financial literacy and financial wellness. Before I was doing music, I had my Series 6 and 63 licenses. So I was helping people invest their money into retirement and things of that sort. So
Yeah.
I don't have the 6 and 63 license anymore because I let that go while I was doing all this music stuff. But I do
Right.
have the life insurance license, which does still allow me to educate and help people, move their money in,
That's
in,
right.
in great directions. So yeah, that's
That's funny.
something I think people should know
Mhm.
uh, about me, that I love about myself, just being a multi-dimensional being and being able to just
Wow.
serve people in different capacities, and that's one of them.
All right. That's amazing. Wow. Continue on. You
You know
gotta.
what? I got one more for you.
Mhm.
I, because this is very important. Most recently, I'm a Philly girl. I'm from Philadelphia, and we got a lot of history here.
That's right.
I did lead the charge for getting Philadelphia declared the original music city,
Oh,
and
wow.
that just happened in May.
Wow.
In
Congrats.
May,
Hmm.
and we also got Philadelphia Philly Music Month that's going to be starting 2026 in May.
2020. Oh, wow. Congrats.
Thank
Give it
you.
up. Give it up. Give it up. Congrats. Congrats. Wow. Wow. So
Thank you.
how was that feeling? How did that make you feel when you actually was awarded to get that done?
First of all, I just, life is crazy. That's all. I just feel like, what?
Yeah, it is. It is. Like life is something else, man.
Crazy. Because
Yeah.
the Philadelphia journey in music has been crazy. And to go from where I was when I first came out on the scene
Yeah.
to traveling, and coming into this point where, what where it started was because I serve on the Recording Academy board, right?
Okay.
So I'm serving the Grammy. And some of my colleagues that I work with on the board, informed me that there was these resolutions passed and these
Yeah.
bills were passed at City Hall that weren't actually being implemented on behalf of the music industry.
Okay.
And they're like, Suzann, I know you got connections in City Hall, and see what you can make happen. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see what we can make happen.
That's right.
I started, talking about some of the grievances, and I started, hitting up different people and basically putting in some work, and ended up being appointed to lead this task force of individuals, like I'm talking about leaders in the city of Philadelphia of all these different organizations, talking about from the Man Music Center, the Philadelphia Music Alliance, like these are really big organizations. Deanna Williams is involved, who is the mother of Black Music Month. And I mean, we're leading a lot of getting like policies made on behalf of us, and working on getting new bills passed. And the first thing we wanted to see happen was us claiming ourselves, who we are as a music city, because we weren't listed on the list as a music city.
Wow.
It was like we was either on the list, far down on the list, or like not on a lot of the lists, and we were being overlooked. So sometimes, we have to claim who we are first before anybody else claim who we are.
Right. That's right.
And you asked me, how does it feel? It just feels, good. It feels like, I am actually walking in purpose. And, sometimes you just gotta walk your journey, because you never know where it's going to lead you. And I really truly believe that the work that we are getting done, in some years to come, we're going to see a lot of changes for the Philadelphia music industry over time.
Wow.
So I'm grateful that I could be a part of this, and I'm utilizing different skills and creating in another capacity, on behalf of just making the journey for those who come behind me easier.
That's right.
Because Philadelphia artists shouldn't have to leave. You ask me, do you get invited to Powerhouse, right? And it's like, no, but guess where I did get invited to? Hot 97 on multiple years, to Summer Jam. I mean, multiple years behind stage, backstage, but Philadelphia, my own city,
Philly.
Does it right, and it's like, I've been played on the New York stations before I was able to get played in the Philadelphia stations, but it it shouldn't be that way. It should be Philly putting on Philly, not other cities putting on Philly.
They don't look at it that way. It's a shame, but it's like other people will come get you first. That's just what it is. Even on your Facebook pages, the people that like you is people that fans that you don't even know of, but they love your work. That's just how it is. Your own hometown, they won't support. They just won't support. but you don't stop. You just keep.
You never stop. Oh no. Just do what you love. Do what fulfills you. And that's what you got to do sometimes. Do what fulfills you. And I'm grateful. It's beautiful to be here. It just shows that people do respect what you have done and what I've done. See who I am, and they believe in me to be able to make stuff happen. So, yeah.
Well, what inspired you to start SCH Kappa or Kappa? I'm gonna say Kappa.
That's right.
And what is your favorite success story from the program?
So I was inspired to start SCH Creative and Performing Arts because, when I left that job, I had two dreams, and it was A, to do music, and then also B, help, those who are coming behind me
Yeah.
learn what I already knew, right?
Okay.
And at that time, I didn't know really too much about like the industry or anything like that. So we were more performing arts.
Okay.
So I was giving back all the knowledge that I attained with musical theater and performing. So when we first started, we had classes in vocal music, musical theater classes, we had dance classes, and like I said, I'm an organizer. We had photography classes,
Okay. Yeah.
music production classes, and I would bring in my friends to teach kids how to do what they already knew how to do, right?
Okay.
And and you know, I me being like a Girl Scout, me growing up as somebody who's like already like just is almost like groomed to serve,
Hmm.
right? Do community service work. Like it was like, okay, let's just start a nonprofit, you know, where we don't charge too much money
Yeah.
for children to learn this information, right?
Hmm.
Let's, you know, serve children who are in need, you know, underserved children
That's
who
right.
could utilize these skills, right? You know, give them, and it really helps with like building up your confidence and your self-esteem and, you know, um, and that's really why I started it in the first place. My
Okay.
biggest, uh, what was your last question?
Yeah. And what was the biggest success story from the program?
My biggest success story.
Yeah.
My biggest success story is like I have a student who she was a part of my program for a few years,
Mhm.
and she's now like in her early 20s.
Oh.
And it's funny because I'm like, you ain't know I was around your age when I started this program, right? And she was like, oh my gosh, you know, because she saw me as like, you know, and she was just a kid, but I was like, she's writing for movies and producing
Oh. Wow.
commercials and
Okay. Okay.
she's like she's doing a lot of stuff in music. And you know, I'm working on getting her into the Recording Academy as a member. And um, you know, she gave a testimonial, and it was just beautiful because she was like, I got my start at SCH Creative and Performing Arts.
That's
And
great.
then I would say another big accomplishment that I'm really, really proud of is my latest baby, which is our Mothers Making Music and Moves
Hmm.
fundraiser that we do, where we
Yeah.
highlight and recognize women in the music industry who have successful careers and
Hmm.
are mothers. And this last year, we honored Melba Moore and Patty Jackson and Kaisha Blackstone. And we had our students performing for them.
Okay. With
Uh,
Melba Moore, right? And where was it at? Located.
Venice Island Theater
Okay.
in Mania.
Okay.
And, you know, I didn't realize it until I was like on stage in the middle of the stage. And I think it was one of the councilmen, he said it, he was like, this is a intergenerational event. And I was like, shoot, this really is, you know? And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that that was what I was creating at the time because it wasn't like,
Wow.
oh, I'm going to create this event that does this, this, and that, you know, just
You
me
didn't
doing
know.
what I'm doing. And I was like,
You didn't
oh
know.
my gosh, this really is an intergenerational event. And I
Wow.
am literally giving a chance for these young kids, talented children, to perform in front of the goats of the
Wow.
city,
Wow.
you know? And I was like, my mind was blown, you know, at
Wow. Amazing.
what I created. Yeah.
That was amazing. Amazing. I'm not gonna keep you too long. If you can only listen to one R&B album for the rest of your life, which would it be?
That's hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Just one. Wow.
It's probably the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, you pick. I mean,
That's probably what I'm gonna just listen to.
yeah, one of many, but that's a good one. That's a good one. Well, have you ever met Lauryn Hill?
I haven't. I felt so bad because I could have on
Where,
multiple occasions.
but you
But
fumbled.
more
You
recently,
fumbled.
I could have, and I've never met her. She's like my favorite.
Wow.
And
Well,
that's
what happened? What happened? Why didn't you meet her at the time?
well, this last time I didn't meet her because I wasn't. I had so it was kind of like just too much going on, and I wasn't able to travel to an
All right.
event I was invited to. I could have went and met her. I could have met her there. I just wasn't
Okay.
able to get to the event.
Oh wow. Well, you may get your time again. Wow. And just I
Yeah,
have to
I
ask.
think.
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You said you think what? I'm
No,
listening.
I think opportunities present itself if they're supposed to.
Yeah, if it's supposed to, it'll happen again. You know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I couldn't make it. Like, I mean, she was there. I knew she was going to be there.
But you just couldn't make it. But
I
it'll
couldn't
make
make
another
it. You
time.
can't be somewhere all the time.
That's
Like,
right.
it's
That's
what it
right.
is.
Well, you've mentioned. I have to ask you this. You've mentioned talking. Well, taking visitors on a Philly experience, including buying cheesesteaks. Did you do that? You took visitors. You had visitors with you, and you took them out to get, at the Rocky Steps and stuff like that. You took them out to the art museum, I guess, or
I probably have done that before. I mean, like,
yeah. Well,
that's
you
like,
did. Well, you don't remember. Do you
I don't
remember?
remember.
Wow, wow. Because you have.
But what about it? What
I
did
was
I
going to
do?
ask you, where did you take them to get cheesesteaks from? I have to ask that. If
So,
you,
so the last time I bought DJ enough, he came down here. I took him to Max's.
all right, okay, okay, okay. That was
You don't
cool.
like Max's?
I mean, that's not my first go-to, but
What's your first? What's your first? I see. All right, these are. I like Delisandro.
me too.
I
That's one.
like Ishka Bibbles and
Nah.
Max's. At for a long, they was my first. Like,
Yeah, see, that's
but
your first.
what's your joint?
Delisandro's is one, and the one I like is Bella's. That's on 23rd and 22nd and Ridge. Bella's.
Oh, I haven't been there.
Never been to Bella's?
Nope.
Bella's is banging. Or some of the City Views. You ever been to City View Pizza? City Views?
Oh yeah, I've had City View. Yeah, they good.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah,
studio joint. That was like we in the
yeah,
studio. We about
yeah.
to order from City View.
City View. Yeah, the one on Spring Garden is better
Spring
though.
Garden.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So my best spot is Bella's. Bella's is one of the best cheese, and they had salmon cheesesteaks. Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
right. Yeah. So yeah, you send me that. Send me that.
Oh, yeah, I
Send me
got
that.
you. Yeah, I got you. I'm sorry, one more. Bazzini's. Bazzini's up Belfield. Wonderful. Right
Oh,
across from the Stingers bar where they sell the
yep.
shrimp
I'm
set right
familiar.
there. Right
Yep,
there.
yep, yep.
That's another one.
I
Yep,
didn't
it was
even know they had some cheesesteaks over there.
yep. At Bazzini. That's another great one. You have to try that. Fish hoagies, salmon cheesesteaks, everything you want. Lamb
Oh
steaks.
yeah.
Really, really
Yeah,
great.
put me on. Put me on.
I got you. I'm gonna email you all the stores, the restaurants. I'm telling you, you'll love it too. Yep.
Yeah.
Just let the viewers know, just right now, like what do you have in store, in the future? What are you going to be working on with projects? That's basically that.
So, like I said earlier, I'm in my creative mode right now.
There you go. There you go.
And
Yeah.
I am creating some new material. I can't share too much of some of the stuff that I have in store, because it's private right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, just be on the lookout. Suzann Christine on the horizon. Probably really won't be until closer to summer.
All right. Well, cool. Well, we have everything. We have I'm gonna say the legendary Suzann Christine. I want to thank you for coming on to A Vision Entertainment. I thank you so much for that.
Thank you for
Is
having me. I appreciate it, Tommy.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Who that, Sue that? It's your girl, Suzann Christine. You are tuned into A Vision Entertainment.